Hello everyone, today I'm going to review the FPR Himalaya V2 fountain pen. First of all, a big thanks to Alan Barber for recommending this to me, and thanks to FPR for sending over a pen for this review. Let's take a look at some of the pens that are sold on the FPR website. FPR, by the way, is Fountain Pen Revolution, and the website is fprevolutionusa.com. So these are the pens available on their website. The one that I have is the Himalaya V2. They also have the Himalaya V1. The difference is the ink converter. One is the twist type and one is the piston push-pull type. And these fountain pens, they are available in different colors, available with different nibs that you can choose. They have extra fine, medium, broad, 1mm stub, steel flex, and steel EF Ultra Flex. And the price of this pen, US $35. This particular pen that I have here, the design is Peacock Aqua, and it looks really beautiful. This is one of those designs that's really eye-catching. So design is definitely one of the main selling points for this pen. The other main selling point is you have the option to go with a flexible nib. The Himalaya V2 features chrome pen clip and ring here. The cap and the body, that's acrylic. And you see this swirling design. It's really beautiful to look at, and it's quite comfortable in hand. This pen has a good size and weight to it. The pen cap is the twist type, and you can post it behind. Design on this nib is very simple. We have the words FPR Flex here because this is a flexible nib. And notice the slit, it goes all the way to the back. There is no breather hole there. And this nib, it's cut on this side and this side. So this is probably to give it the extra flex. And that's the ebonite feet. This pen comes with an ink converter, and the ink converter is the twist type. And to remove the ink converter, you have to twist it as well. This is unlike other ink converters where you can just pull it out. Here you actually have to twist it. And it looks like they have applied some grease onto the screw threads. The nib and feet can be removed easily. Just pull them out. Just twist very slightly to wiggle them and pull them out. Now this hole here, it's not a perfect circle, so it's shaped to the feet and nib. So when you put the feet and nib back, you have to make sure the shape matches. And that's the reason why you cannot twist the whole thing out. You have to twist it very slightly to make it a bit loose before you can pull out the feet and nib. The cap can also be dismantled. You just have to unscrew the top here and remove the clip. So this is a pen that can be completely dismantled very easily for cleaning. Alright, let's fill up the pen with ink and test it. The ink that I'm using today is the DR Mantis document ink. Let's try some thin lines first. Okay, so it flexes quite well. Oops. So the feet below actually accidentally touched the paper. That's why we have that blotch. The feet is quite thick here, so when you are writing, if you angle the pen too low, this part here may actually touch the paper, so you have to be careful not to have this part touch the paper. Alright, now that I know what's going on, let's test the pen again. So when you don't apply any pressure at all, the line, it looks like fine to me. It's not extra fine. And when you press down hard, you can get thicker lines. This nib, it's quite flexible. Compared to the Nautilus Ahab, which is also a rather inexpensive fountain pen with flex nib, this nib, it's more flexible, it's less stiff. This pen uses a lot of ink, So it's going to take some time for the ink to dry. Ink flow is good, and the pen nib is quite smooth on the paper. The line variation you can get is a fine to medium. So here we have the thin lines, the thick lines, thin and thick. This really uses a lot of ink, so if you are using this pen in a notepad or sketchbook, make sure the ink is completely dry before you close your book. Just for comparison purposes, here I have written the same letters with the Pilot penmanship that features an extra fine nib. So the lines here, they are very obviously thinner compared to the Himalaya. But this EF nib, it has no flex at all. And here we have the Himalaya versus the Namiki Falcon, extra fine. This Namiki Falcon that I have has been modified to produce even thinner lines. So the lines here, they are noticeably thinner compared to the Himalaya. But the thing with this pen is because the point is so sharp, it's quite scratchy on the paper. The Himalaya, by comparison, it's very smooth on paper. When you have a nib that is too sharp, you can only get the thicker lines when you draw or write with the pen in a downward direction. You cannot go up because it's going to poke into the paper. With the Himalaya, the nib is sharp, but it's not that sharp, so you can still write in an upwards motion. Alright, let's draw something with the pen. So drawing in an upward motion with this pen, it's still very smooth on the paper. It doesn't dig into the paper, which is great. Let's try the thin lines and the thick lines. I like how smooth this pen is. It does use a lot of ink, so be prepared to use up your ink quite quickly. And I don't think this is a good pen for use with watercolor because the ink, so much ink will take a lot of time to dry. Unless you're painting under the sun, then the ink may dry quicker, but if the ink doesn't dry, you won't be able to apply watercolor over it. Let's see if we can draw with the other side of the nib. So this side, it's sharper, you can get thinner lines, but it's very scratchy on the paper. So if you want to use even thinner lines, you can turn the pen nib around. This is a nice contrast from the thicker lines. So this can be used to draw elements that are further in the background. But it's really very scratchy. I can even hear the pen nib scratching the paper. One thing I noticed about the cap is it's slightly translucent, so if you have ink on the inner sides of the wall, you will be able to see those ink stains. Alright, to conclude, I really enjoyed using this pen. The nib performs really well. It's smooth on the paper, ink flow is great, and the flex is actually softer than I expected. So if you are interested to get this pen, I highly recommend you get it with an extra fine flexible nib. The flex nib, by the way, costs extra, so but it's worth it. Alright, thanks for watching this video. I hope it's helpful. See you in the next one. Bye!